So now I want to show you an example of a decorator that I end up building quite a lot, and that is a decorator around a string builder class. So you might be wondering, well, why would you want a decorator around a single class? Isn't the whole point of decorator to build some sort of multiple inheritance scenario thing? Well, not really, because sometimes you just get sealed classes. So if I want to make a code builder, for example, I might want to inherit from string builder. Notice it's not even in the list, and if I leave it like this, it's kind of underlined in wavy red underlines, and it says here that you cannot inherit from a sealed class. So I don't know the reason why string builder is sealed. Maybe it's for security reasons, so that you cannot override it and then stick it into some method where something sensitive is happening. Whatever the reason, we now have a problem. We want a string builder, we cannot inherit from it. So what do we do? Well, the answer is obvious. We build a decorator. So here I make a private string builder. Builder equals new string builder. Surprised I don't get a pop-up helping me here. And then of course you generate all the delegating members. So you go and you generate the delegating members, and there is a ton of them. So just press return, and we have to sit here and wait because there is apparently 59 of them. So that is a very complicated operation. But the consequence of this operation is that we end up once again with a decorator which does everything that a string builder does. Well, not really. Not really. You might think that this reshopper magic actually fixes all the problems for us. Well, no, because string builder has a fluent interface. It returns a string builder. Now, we don't want to return a string builder anywhere. We want to return a code builder, and we're returning a string builder. This is terrible. This is not what we wanted. Now, unfortunately, reshopper doesn't know that there is this thing called fluent interface, and if you're building a decorator over something which has a fluent interface, you might want to expose the outside object instead of whatever it is you're actually decorating. So, with that in mind, we have to do it ourselves. And unfortunately, it's not easy because for each method, like for example, instead of returning builder.clear, what we have to do, and this is quite tedious, is 2 lines. We have to say builder.clear, builder.clear, and then we have to do return this, because that's the only way we once again make a fluent interface. And of course this return type has to change to a code builder. So let's try doing that. So first of all, I'm going to grab this huge chunk of code from about here to the very end. Let's sort of jump to here, and then I'm going to open up the replace, and I'm going to change string builder to code builder. And I want to do it in the selection. I think I had a selection. Let's do this again. I think my selection got cleared. So I'm going to do this throughout this entire file. And I'll just go in here and Alt-A. Hopefully that fixes it for us. Okay, so we now have lots of red code, obviously, because we're converting the wrong thing. And now we need to do a replace using regular expressions to make sure that we get, you know, the right invocation. So once again, coming back to kind of up here, I'm going to open up the replace once again, and here we're looking for something which starts with return builder dot followed by whatever. We'll just make a group with 1 or more characters in it, and it's finished with the end line, so I'll put $1 in here, and we need to replace this whole thing. We need to replace it with, first of all, calling builder dot, and then using that group that we made, and then we put a line break, \n, and then we return this semicolon. So let's try doing this and just fire this up. Okay, so 53 occurrences replaced, and we now need to check all those cases where we did it unnecessarily, like when you return an int, for example. That's not really what we need. We just need a proper return, and the same goes for this one. Okay, so return here. I think we fixed every single error. Have we fixed every single error? No, there's one more. Look, here it is, equals. So here, once again, we fix it back. Okay, so we are now ready to actually perform certain operations. Let's just check that the original builder is still a string builder, because if this becomes a code builder for some reason, we're going to have a Stack Overflow. Okay, so everything is great. We're now having a fluent interface. I may as well call the formatting KD, so this is nicely aligned now. So we are returning a code builder everywhere, and this is precisely the point where we can start customizing the code builder, because it's now a string builder plus a bit more. So the first and most obvious thing that you would do is implement toString. So if you go and you implement toString, that would obviously return builder.toString. There we go. So with all of this in mind, let's take a look at the actual API. So I'm going to go here in main, and then var cb equals new code builder. Come on. Okay, and then of course I can say cb.append line class foo dot append line curly brace dot append line closing curly brace, and I would typically customize this so that I have scopes and indentation and all those sorts of things. I'm not going to show them here, but the point is I can now write line CB, and this is hopefully going to give me the right output. So let's try executing this just to show that the whole thing actually works. Alright, so we get the right output. So this has been a small demonstration of how you build a decorator over a single class. So everything seems easy until you get a Fluent interface and you end up correcting everything using regular expressions. But then once you're done, you can start customizing it and building your own implementations of methods and properties and so on and so forth. So a very nice demonstration of how a limitation of the .NET framework, probably done for security reasons, can actually be managed using the decorator pattern.